Let's go. And this is the underground. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Back for another one here on this 2/20/2026. And boy, oh boy, do we got a lot going on worldwide. All across the board. Thank you for the feedback. Everybody out there, good to see you. Hopkinson, Steve, Pixie, John, Steely. Thank you for the super chat. As always, Kenny, thank you. Everybody out there, Tom, Rose, Deanne, thank you for everything. Lose the Illusions, Bulletproof, good to see everybody. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Even if you've been here for a while, hit that bell notification. It's only going to help you get notified when I post stuff and go live because I'm so censored. Man, I hear it all the time. People show up and they're like, man, I haven't seen you in forever. And it's like, man, I haven't gone nowhere. I've been here the entire time. What I try to tell people to do is just get in the habit of stopping by my channel and checking it out, because 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to find something new. So, I mean, I'm on this stuff all day long. Follow me on X as well. It's where a lot of the updates get kicked out that don't get videos, you know. Lone Warrior in the house, man. Christ is King. Got that right. Good to see you, brother. It's just, anymore. It's just good to see some of you guys out there. It's been a while, been around for a while. Just to see that you're still breathing. We've lost so many people. R.I.P. Mike, R.I.P. Bobby Powell, Carolina May. It goes on and on. Big Danny. Like, I mean, I get the ball rolling, just keeps going, man. But R.I.P. to all the ones we've lost. We ride for you. We roll for you. It's all for you. Let's get this going. We're going to start off here with a story I dropped a video on. Hey, thank you for that, Flip. Kind of a head scratcher here. A lack of information, but the details go as such. We've got a Caltech astrophysicist who was found dead at his home. This is Carl Grillmeyer, 67, shot in his torso by a man who approached him on his porch. So it was a one time. This is a little bit different detail than the link that I kicked out before. One time is all I see. One shot. Freddie Snyder, 29, has since been charged with the murder and being held on a $2 million bail. The LA County Sheriff's Department reporting that Snyder shot Grillmeyer. He attempted to flee the scene by carjacking a nearby vehicle, but was busted in the process of doing that. Why did he want to kill him? I got a lot of different comments in the comment section over there from people that are over in the high desert or near there that know about the high desert. They're like, look, if this took place up there, then no doubt there's a lot of robberies. But what many didn't get was that this wasn't a robbery. They're like, yeah, something's off with this. Like, normally something like this was going to happen. Guy would have been mugged, robbed, whatever. He was just shot, and then the guy fled. To silence him? For what? Well, this guy did discover what they attribute him finding water on a different planet. Like, big time. I guess, there's whole teams of people that work on projects, but he ran a big project, and they discovered, one of these bodies out there that there was water. I would say it's out there way more than what they say, but at the time of all this alien talk, makes you wonder, what'd he know? Why was he shot? I don't know if we'll ever get those answers, but this genius astrophysicist shot dead. Hopefully more details come to light out of this. I'll share them as I get them. And just one that makes you wonder there. Now we have another story here. This is one where an anti-ice agitator steals an ambulance from a hospital. He packs it with gas cans and rams it into the DHS office in Idaho. So, another crazy situation. I mean, they could end up labeling something like this as terrorism easy. They say that the suspect stole the ambulance from St. Luke Hospital and poured accelerant inside of the vehicle. We want to emphasize that this was a serious criminal act, he says. I bet so. The theft and destruction of an emergency vehicle not only created a risk to the personnel responding, but also removed critical medical resources from the community. He said that there's been a lot of rhetoric surrounding the Department of Homeland Security. Comments on social media such as property damage isn't violence is absolutely false, he says. This is absolutely an act of violence, and if the suspect had been interrupted, there's no doubt the building would have been burned, putting the lives of first responders and others at risk. So the unidentified suspect is still at large. What? How? What? So he got out and ran. I thought they had him for sure here. Apparently not.
And the Meridian last night at approximately 11:10 p.m., officers from the Meridian Police Department, the 80 County Sheriff's Office, Boise Police Department and the Meridian Fire Department responded to a 911 call reporting that a Canyon County paramedics ambulance had been stolen from the ambulance bay at St. Luke's West. Preliminary investigation indicates the suspect drove the ambulance north through the parking lot and retrieved gas cans that had been staged in nearby vegetation. The suspect then drove the ambulance directly into the North Portico building, which houses Department of Homeland Security offices. Investigators believe the suspect poured an accelerant inside and around the outside of the ambulance. At this time, it appears the suspect was unable to ignite the accelerant before being scared off by responding agencies. We want to emphasize that this was a serious criminal act. The theft and destruction of an emergency vehicle not only created risk to responding personnel, but it also temporarily removed a critical medical resource from the community.
So, what I picked up on that, much love D. White, is that this guy had gas cans hidden in the bushes. And he went up and stole this. He obviously kind of like was planning this, kind of thinking this out. Didn't think it out too well. But I don't know. BT Lightning, thank you for that. They targeted the DHS building, apparently, but he wasn't able to ultimately light it as he was planning to do, and he got ran off. But he did get away. So, and he did ram an ambulance into the building. Could have been way worse. Could have been. But it just goes to show that some of these places are being targeted like this. Imagine if he was walking out the hospital and this nut come flying through the parking lot in a stolen thing and like smacked into you. Like you just never know what's going to happen out there. Just know your surroundings, I guess, and where you're at, especially if you're next to a DHS building or a ICE building facility like that. They're being targeted. You need to be aware of your surroundings. So let's go to this next one. An illegal alien accused of trying to randomly drown women at a Florida beach was apparently shielded by the Biden admin. And this is just one I wanted to throw in here in the lineup. It's one of many here where these illegals been doing all kinds of crazy things. I mean, just trying to just randomly drown people at a beach is horrific. It shouldn't be tolerated at all, whatsoever. But, you know, they allowed this. They flooded all these illegals in here. It was part of a plan to disrupt this country. And if people don't stand up and do something, they're going to tear this place in two. There's really nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. At some point, people might get that. You could run from state to state, but you're trapped in America unless you want to try to flee. Where are you going to go? The beast is going to be everywhere at this point. And here on this old rock, you can go out in the middle of nowhere and demons still find you. It's just the way that it is. You better go underground if you want to live. Here's an illegal alien in a semi-truck. He runs a red light and kills another person. This time an elderly man in Indiana. It's getting ridiculous. It may not be every show, but it's definitely every week. I'm reporting on exactly this. Illegals that shouldn't even have a license and sometimes don't are killing people on our highways. It's got to stop. It's flooded. It's flooded out big time. They got to go. And like, it's garbage. Like, I see ICE going into all these other places, but like, there's some places, I don't know, like a truck stop, where they guarantee would find a ton of these guys. And I don't never see them doing that. Instead, they're going downtown, they're going into neighborhoods and things like that. It's just, I sit back and I'm thinking about resources like, okay, we know there's an influx of illegals in these vehicles. It's a fact. All right. So, you think maybe more might be there? And these aren't just, illegals. They're illegals that are killing people. Okay. So, I know that some people out there are here illegally and they came here because it's bad where they're at and it's America. If they could slip in here and they could get in here, it's a better life. But at the same time, if you want to be here, you've got to first off speak English, right? Abide by the rules like all the rest of us. You just got to start there. I mean, those first things would have stopped this. If you would have obtained a license. Now, here recently, they just busted a ring here in Kentucky, a corruption ring that was working at one of these DMVs. It was pretty widespread. And they were getting licenses to these illegals with, money being transferred. So there was crimes being committed. They're all busted, an investigation going into that. But that's how these people end up getting into these trucks, onto the streets to begin with. And look what it leads to. People getting killed because they're idiots. Remember, we had one that was in a slow lane on a highway, like a 2-3 lane highway, normal highway. In the right lane, decide he was just going to turn around at the crossing in the middle of the road there, where there was a sign that said no turnaround, where cops usually say, And he just yanks it, doesn't care, just yanks it, and kills everybody. Everybody behind him, everybody in the fast lane. And then he gets out and he looks like, oh crap. Cops show up and they're like, what the hell happened? And he speaks no English. Like, you got a license. And he's got like nothing, no English, no nothing. And it's like, dude, this is preventable by and large. You have to want to prevent it though. We're being sold out here. Remember, when Biden was here, the dude in the mask, they used that window to flood migrants in here big time. And it's for a lot of different reasons. A lot of different reasons. It wasn't so that they were going to win another election, because that obviously didn't happen. That's a ruse. They can give the election to whoever they want in the system. It's pretty obvious. They did that with Biden, right? Mystery 10 million votes and all that. We all know it. Okay? And they can do it again. Ain't nobody stopped anything. Hasn't no one came in and stopped or tried to change how we run the voting system or anything. Now that Trump's in here, everyone's like, duh. It's like, man, I've never seen such a docile country in my life. Like, I've never seen this country as docile at this moment ever. Say people need to snap out of it. Wake up from the magic spell, man. This place is going down quick. Yeah, Trump ran on coming in here and getting illegals out and all that. And everyone we get out of here is good. But I raise all these questions like, man, I'm sick of playing these games. You got governors and senators, mayors. They're all holding criminals in their jails, murderers, rapists. They won't give them up. And worse yet, they're turning them loose back onto the streets. That's a crime. That's criminal. Them dudes should be arrested. And like it never happens. We just always sit here like, when are the arrests going to begin? When are the arrests going to begin? It never happens. They may throw one or two people under the bus in the end, sacrifice them for the greater good, right? But like, you're talking like the whole thing needs gutted here. There's corruption everywhere, and everybody knows it. There's no good guys anywhere. There's no white knights that usually get killed. It's all corruption posing, acting like they're doing the right thing, and you know it. Yeah, there's some guys that are lean good, but they're largely outnumbered, and there is no power. There's nobody overthrowing anything. The whole left-right paradigm is just that. It's a big illusion. keep people smoke screened. Usually people get caught up in it for, I don't know, at least a cycle, an election cycle or so, sometimes more if they don't wake up to it. But you need to wake up to it. The sooner the better. You're getting played, led by the nose. And I think people are. I really do. I think people are starting to see it. Um, it doesn't change things like this, though, with illegals all over the place, man. I'm all for people coming here for opportunity and doing all these things. But again, if I tried to go anywhere, I'd have to know the language and I'd have to go there legally. Or it's like, why even bother, right? Well, you're just asking for trouble. Yeah, and that's what I say to these people that are here illegally. I know some want to provide a better future. They're not terrorists. They're not. See, that's the sad part. That's what destroys the functionality of a country like this. That's the sad part. People that really want to come here and be a part of it, and they're willing to work and pay taxes and do all that. The system's abused, and we get overran by invaders, as I see it. And thank you, D. White, for sharing the stream. You guys might have seen that bloody horse. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. First off, got a bunch of dead geese in New Jersey. Over 1,000 or 1,100 here. Mysteriously found dead in the waters. This is residents living along Jersey's waterways that, by and large, are overseen by the EPA. And if you missed it, here recently, there was a big bust of a sewage line in Maryland that runs into the Potomac. That's labeled an ecological disaster. So, I mean, what could this be? They say it could be due to avian bird flu. It's right here, like this, how the next event can begin. Just like this. The guys that went down, tested at the doctors, they came down sick, this and that, and then spread quickly. They tried to quarantine, but they didn't quarantine everybody, and off it goes for the history books. And this one's deadly. Because the bird flu, they already said it. This is the one that they've engineered and practiced on. There's ladies on camera talking about how they got the jabs ready to go for this one, and that this is the big one. This is the one that they really studied on big time, was with bird flu. So it's one I always watch. And it can affect everything. It will crush the food supply. It will crush the markets. It will crush everything. Because if you paid attention to what happened throughout the whole scam up till now, they were going in places and they were knocking on people's doors and they were saying, you got to kill every single bird out here, millions of them sometimes, because we detected bird flu. And these people would argue it, farmers would argue it, saying that we don't see a single dead chicken. What do you mean? And you just crept up and snatched up and started testing our chickens without saying anything, and then knock on the door saying that they all got to be killed? Like, that ain't right. Well, that's exactly what's happened. It's what your government was doing left and right to farmers all across the country, if you missed it. And what it did in a moment in time is it spiked everything with eggs. So anything with chickens and eggs, all that stuff's tied into the cattle and everything else that goes down. Like, this could be bad, man. So chickens, eggs, all that would get affected, go through the roof. I don't know. I would say they may be hard to even get. Just incredible. Thank you for the coffees. Much love. God bless. Repentance is the only way. You gotta walk righteous. Definitely. So, I don't know if you see any dead birds out there, especially if you're in these areas, and especially if you see a bunch of
yesterday, this is just before dark, dead and dying Canada geese can be seen on the video, some of them displaying signs of what we've seen in the past with bird flu, where they are just spinning in circles. Now, this—
oh, wow. Okay, so where they're just spinning in circles. There you go. That's wow. It reminds me of people that got the clips back right when all the lockdowns first began, and I guess people that got um, inoculated, they were spinning in circles. Same way. This is pretty crazy with the whole bird flu thing, and just knowing that from the heart of it, that the birds themselves are showing signs of spinning like that, which would lean toward it's doing something, right? It's doing something neurological. It's like attacking something in the system that's ultimately causing this to happen. And it could do it in every single species that it infects. Okay, so I'm not liking this, man. I just know that these goons, the worst of the worst, are still running around out there. They've got another big thing planned, and it's going to be a deathly win. It's going to be a deathly win this time, man. I just don't think people are hearing it. I mean, I believe we come out with irrefutable proof. You know, they're about to do this. Even people been locked down, and they went through this whole thing. We could come through with solid proof, and still people wouldn't listen. People so short, they have such a short memory span, and I guess just think that it can never happen again. Like, the sad part and the crazy part is, to me, is the real deal never even happened yet. This has all been a beta to make sure they got all their T's crossed, their I's dotted before they do the real deal. You have to. Spend how many years? 5, 6, 7, 8? Like, how many? Wargaming it in real time. You have to. Even for these sick SOBs, you have to, because you cannot let this be like a horror movie. You cannot let this be 28 Days Later, World War Z, anything, combination. It can get nuts. I don't know. I just think the next time is going to be super deadly, and it's going to affect someone we all know, big time, way worse than this last time. Way worse. Bodies dropped all over the place. I don't look forward to it. I see these little stories, and it makes me think of it. So, on to the next one. This is for anyone that's flying out there. May have to deal with something like this.
Well, now to this new video tonight from on board a Delta Airlines flight headed to Atlanta that was forced to turn around after passengers say a man attacked 2 people on the plane. Passengers sharing this video showing the chaotic moments on board the plane about 20 minutes into the flight from Houston to Atlanta. In the video, a flight attendant tries to calm the man when he moves across the aisle to the other seated passengers. Witnesses say the situation escalated quickly.
A guy walks aggressively by me and aggressively back, and he bumps into my shoulder and starts completely wailing on my head. He punched me 3 times and then walked back and then started attacking another gentleman behind me.
This one guy in the window seat, he was yanking him by his shirt, his hair.
Passengers say before that, the man tried moving towards the cockpit door.
Well, we had a passenger get up and try to access the cockpit. And just to verify cockpit is secured.
He wanted to speak to the pilot.
Video shows several passengers restraining the man in the aisle until that plane could turn around.
Here, come to the gate. The police are waiting.
Exclusive video from our sister station KHOU shows the man being let off the plane in handcuffs. We're blurring his face because police have not publicly identified him, and it's unclear what charges he may face. Eventually, the plane departed from Houston again, landing here in Atlanta. Yeah, so police say no injuries were reported here. Delta telling 11 Alive 85 passengers and 5 crew members were on board at the time. The airline reiterated that the person did not make contact with or attempt to access the flight deck. Delta says it has.
Okay. Okay. So that was a big thing right there. But dude was tripping out for whatever reason. No one wants to be on a plane when something like that goes down. When you see somebody start snapping out, 30,000 feet, that's not good. And thank you, Jocelyn. They just called a bunch of chickens in Walker County, Georgia for bird flu a few weeks ago. I appreciate that email update. Much love. All right, so yeah, I'm not flying, I'm driving. I'll pass all this crap going on. An update to the war in Nevada, Las Vegas, all the areas around it. It's a war for water. And I've said this a couple different times. We've talked about the different, the dire straits out here in terms of some of these cities and towns. And the water comes down through here, but it goes to California. California gets like a majority of the rights, which I think is just ridiculous. And it's because of money and all that. In reality, like if a war was to break out, like straight up, you could cut California off completely, and like they could do them in big time, in a move like that. California then they're barking that they deserve, a majority of the water rights, and it's rough in this situation, and it's only going to get worse. It's drying up. I mean, look at the place. Area 51 itself is on a dry lake bed, ancient lake bed. There's a lot of history out there too that just gets overlooked, man. There's giant stuff out there, man. Love Block Cave out west, all the crazy stuff. I tell you what, I don't know. We'll see. Something's gonna happen here. I gotta get out here to one of these sites. I gotta do something. I ain't gotta be doing no conference or something like that. I'm gonna start setting my sights on doing something else big, another big run on something. We did Area 51. I'll even do that again because we didn't get to camp out at night. I wanted to do that. That was the main thing. But man, it was rough doing what we did. But let's go to Antarctica. This is interesting. Put a video out on this. If you don't know, there is what is called a gravity hole that sits in Antarctica. This is an interesting anomaly. Now, there's a spot on the planet near India. You can see it right here. And our planet, as you can see, it's not perfectly round. It's oddly shaped. But in the indention spot over here, this indention spot just so happens to have a gravity geoid that they call them gravity hole off of India. And this one isn't as pronounced as the one down here in Antarctica. In Antarctica, it's 420 feet. That is nuts. The water sits 420 feet deeper than all the water around it. How is it possible? Well, it just so happens with India here, right in the same vicinity, we know that there was nuclear war. The Vimana, all the talk of it, it's in their history books. The Hamar Barta. You look this stuff up, you'll see they talked about these guys going to war. They were in flying machines. It's all right there, man. And the city of Dwarka, which was a coastal town and city, got said to have been hit by a huge nuclear blast. That coastal city now sits underwater, and all this is like all this that I'm telling you is like known. The city's there; it's underwater. It's all part of their history. It's like, you think big blast might have had something to do with it in this area. Gravity itself is said to be much different. I don't know. There's a lot of different theories out there on what gravity is, what's really going on inside the planet when we're lied to, magnetism, all these things. And then you come to the inner Earth, which gets to be something that sounds a little wild, but I believe the planet is hollow in nature. Why? Because all the ancients have pointed me that way. They said that this planet was hollow. Many of them even went inside the planet to live and to dodge catastrophes. And what's crazy, like the Hopi did the exact same thing. Followed a big bright light into the inner Earth, where they dodged the last cataclysm. And where'd they come out of? The Grand Canyon. Same Grand Canyon they won't let you go explore thoroughly. You wonder why? You wonder why. Okay. The ancient stuff is, to me, the most interesting. Because imagine if you could unlock, you discover, you find something that just proves otherwise, proves that they've been lying. Of course they have. I think LiDAR is the way to go. These guys are taking LiDAR to all these different locations. This is why they don't want you flying a drone in these locations, in any national park. Why would that be? Why would you not be able to fly? Stop, everybody, think about it. Why would no one be able to fly a drone in a national park? As beautiful as they are. Can't fly a drone and catch this, from the air at all? Like, why? What are you really worried about? Oh, the drone's going to crash and it might mark the ground, might scar the ground when the drone crashes, if it does. Woo. Like, that's cheap. That's pathetic to me. That's a pathetic excuse, but they're getting away with it. And you can't fly a drone in any of the parks in Utah, Zion National Park, Arches, any of the beautiful places. And you can't do it. Why? Because they're keeping secrets. I've been there. I've been to all those places out west. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And I put the videos out, and it's crazy. They get like double censored. We went out there and found structures that humans built out in the middle of nowhere. And there's no signs telling you who did it. Nobody cares. And they don't want you talking about it. R.I.P. Desert Drifter. My bro was out there doing his thing, exposing this stuff, and I feel like they got him. They clipped him. He lost his life covering the same stuff. The crazy stuff that's out there. The West is full of it. But down here in Antarctica, they're not letting nobody go down here. Ross Sea. This area is said to be the spot where it's documented military battles went down with aircraft that had swastikas. And Hitler wanted to build his base here because no one could ever get to him. And the way you would have to get to it is you'd have to go under the ice in a submarine and come up into it that way. The only way that you could get into it. Well, no one can go down here and just go down here on vacation and go check it out, because anytime anyone does, they get ran out. It's just the way that it is. There's a ton of talk. There's conspiracy. And rightfully so, because we're lied to and we're kept out of there. But don't get it twisted that, like, when you see some of these things like this, that there's an ice wall that we can't get past because there's ice walls down here, yes, that look like this, but trust me, they've landed the chopper on top of them. They parked the boat right there, and they're all on top. They're all through. They got bases all across Antarctica. It's for sure. And we've caught crazy waves coming, emanating from this area. Sure, we're lied to a lot about a lot of stuff, but I think this spot here could be tied to something ancient. Right here in the raw side, I do. I think it's on the very opposite side of the planet, so to speak. You have the North Pole, and what do we have there? We have an area where no one can go freely. You can't go up there. People could talk smack and trash in the comments and try to say whatever they want. But the facts are, no one can take an expedition up to the North Pole, the center North Pole in the ocean. Right now, you go show me the proof of a ticket on a ship that you can get that's going up there that's going to take you. Because the last big expeditions that we ever seen that was going to go up here, both the guys that were running it died. One of a heart attack, and I forget what the other one was. So they never happened. Okay? And these were real deal. Big time things. Like even a decade ago. I want to say 2012-ish, something like that. I remember it was one of them that was big time. So this has happened. And Russia controls most of the icebreakers in this region on the planet. We've just got like barely a couple. They ordered a few more. And you wonder why they're flipping out about dominance of Greenland and everything else. You know that when it comes to the North Pole, like in the middle of the ocean, right there, where Admiral Byrd said he entered the Earth, the closest piece of land to that is Greenland. What'd he say when he went in there? He got guided in by aircraft that took him in, and he spoke to beings that were concerned about what was going down out here. This is what Admiral Byrd said, wrote in his diaries. Those aircraft had swastikas on them. And they weren't the Nazis. It's because the swastikas represent something much different. Going back to ancient times, all the emblems do. Even the Star of David was the Star of Rephaim. All these things. It goes back further than that. It goes back into civilizations, man, that we don't even know of. They lie to us so bad. Like they let you know of in Atlantis, maybe Tartaria or whatever, Lemuria, echoes of that, but like nothing else. This place could have been harboring life for a very, very, very long time, man. That's what I love about history, the Indiana Jones part, digging up giants, because like it shatters their lies. Yeah, they're gonna want you dead. They're gonna try to arrest you and find you and do all this other stuff. But do you live under threat of that, or do you figure it out one day? Same here, Sparrow. Good to see you, brother. There's a lot of adventure out there left. You have to do it. You got to start planning. You got to live in the present, man. You have to. So many people passing away, and I watched a video of a guy saying, "Look, man, there's anything I tell any of you, I'm facing death," and he's gone. Is that you live in the present, in the moment, and even Jesus told you this. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow, worry about itself. All these things. Yeah, you got to plan about things and stuff, but don't worry and stress. Live for the moment and live in the present and make the most of it. And walk righteous. So I'll leave you with this. If you go to the North Pole and you want to hop on a boat, you want to like go on an expedition, you think you can get one, charter one, whatever. If you go toward this hole in the ocean, whatever's up there, North Pole in the ocean, you're going to come to a spot they call the Oceanic Depression. That is the admission of fact that when you get to the top of the planet, when you get up toward this North Pole in the ocean, everything starts to flatten out and go downhill. How can that be? It's not labeled a gravity anomaly like we're looking at here. It's not labeled that. So what's going on there? It's on the exact opposite side of the planet than this crazy anomaly. On the exact opposite. And you hit the oceanic depression. Why? Why does it start to drop off? Like what? That much is fact and known. Like, so, yeah, trust me, you guys ever take a little expedition, if anybody goes up there, I'd love to see your 2026 footage in HD of what's going on up there, because nobody else has any. And it's Crackers is saying gravity has not been proven. And it's all out there to be debated, right? Yeah, it is truly. Different things. There's different theories on, what gravity is and that. We know that this place is electromagnetic. Let's just put it that way. And that it's magnetic even at its core, they admit. Which right there, magnetism explains a lot. But they leave you dumbed down to all this. I believe it's electromagnetic universe. The sun's electromagnetic. Has to be. It's plasma and everything else. It's not fire. It's not like light. It's not like. It's not lighter. It's not flame. It's not that. That's not what it is. That's not what the sun is. It's something different. It's plasma. And it could well be cold fusion. How could it not be? How could this planet get lit directly by something getting spit out by that sun, and us not get lit up like a candle, torched? How? Never, ever. Yeah, it fries electronics, but I'm talking physically. How? Because it's not hot like that. This is also how things can feed off of it. And we've seen it, and you know it. Look, I've got on my channel, again, broad daylight objects interacting with the sun. Are you scared to go look? I block out the sun, and I show you what's really going on. Anyone could do it. Many others have done it since then. The day that I did it, it was special, though, because it just was. The spirit was with me. I caught a plane on camera. I caught a bird on camera. There was bugs on camera. There was every excuse you could have for what these things were on film, so you could roll it all out. It was all garbage out the window. And these things are interacting with the sun. And when you block the sun out, put like a little sponge ball, squeeze ball, handball on a stick or on a pencil and hold it up and block out the sun, you will see they are there. And they're there all the time, every day, and they're interacting with the sun. It's not things just going by. They're interacting with the sun itself. You can see it. When I filmed this, my wife opened up the back door to say like dinner was ready or something, and the song was playing. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I always feel like it was crazy. And I ran inside, it was nuts. It's because that's when I first realized that you can do this every day in a clear sky, blue sky, no chemtrail, and I know it's hard to get sometimes. They're there every day. There's a lady out there that follows me over on X. She's been following for years, and she's cool. Her name's Jennifer Battershill, and she films. And she sees them as being like angels, entities, and things like that, light entities, and all this stuff. And she has her own little mystical thing she does on her page. But she sees them, she films them. They're all there. She knows it, and it's just crazy. Like it's awesome. It's awesome that others finally see what's going on, the interaction. So I say the same thing with the moon. We're supposed to be going to the moon here soon. Let's get ready. Get your telescopes ready. When they launch from Florida, you should be able to follow it all the way to the moon. Not it fork over the horizon and disappear. Uh-uh. None of that. None of that. We got some very telling events coming up. It's going to be interesting. It's going to shatter some lies. It's going to prove some things one way or another. Man, if I'm like, if I had just a little bit of money to do this, I'd do what I wanted to do. Like I'm poor, it's just the way it is. But like I would launch a weather balloon. I've said it for years. It's probably cost a couple $1,000s or something. Load it up with cameras and launch it and GPS it, go live and do it. Are you kidding me? What would we find? What would we see? They would hate it. Would they shut it down? Maybe not. Maybe it goes to subspace. I watched a family do it years ago, and the stuff I saw on their footage was insane. Like, they ignored it. They took it. They just chalked it up as whatever. Just anomalies or something. I don't know what they thought. It was a little Asian family that was here in America. A dad, his kids, and they launched it. And they had GPS, and they went and tracked it down. And then they posted the footage. I said, if they can do that, why can't we at some point? And I always thought the best way to do it would be as north as you could go. Top of Canada, Greenland, close as you can get to the big hole up there or whatever's up there, right? Right? We'll put it to rest. If it's just the ocean, we'll put it to rest, right? Huh? Just a big ice sheet with a couple lanes cut through it. We'll see that, right? Yeah, I think everybody knows you're gonna see something different. Man, that's like legendary. Oh well, they Cody. It's like legendary. you gotta live at some point, right? You gotta figure this game out at some point, right? That's not doing too much. It's launching a balloon with some cameras, man. Again, it would be awesome, and it would definitely raise a lot of questions. And who knows what we would see? Get up there around that area. Who knows if we see the Dark Knight satellite creeping around? All these other things. It's like, oh man, I'd love to do it. California works. It is the worst state for air quality in the U.S., followed by PA, then Michigan. Industrialization is causing this big time. Factories and all that, but the best place is like Wyoming. Well, actually, it's Hawaii, I guess. New England up here does all right. Man, California, not looking good in terms of the air quality. It's jumping to the tech stuff. Tesla scores an FCC waiver for a wireless cybercab charging system. So envision what they're envisioning here for the future is cyber vehicles, electronic vehicles, self-driving, driving everywhere. Again, you don't have to own nothing and you'll love it, as they put it. And you just hop in this Uber, this taxi, and it takes you wherever. It doesn't even have to be a human driver. Like the vehicle just pulls up, right? So now they're going to have a wireless cybercab charging system. Now I instantly think of 5G, 6G. And I think about frying someone's brains if you're in here. Like, so yeah, it's going to be cool. You can hop in. All right, you're going to have wireless system to charge. Like, I don't know, man. Some of the technologies out there, they're rolling out so fast. The effects on humans, man, I don't think they care. I think, honestly, they see it somewhere here along the line. there has to be a reduction in humans in their eyes. This plan, their plan is not going to work. Like, it's just not. Like, with robots and AI and all this, there's like so many people obviously eating up all the resources here. There's going to be like a huge move to reduce. And I believe that they've said this openly. Bill Gates has said it on a stage. Best way to reduce the planet's population is through jabs. He said it. He has said it. Or through whatever crazy other thing they're going to throw at us. I didn't know Whole Foods was doing this. Maybe you guys shop at Whole Foods, but apparently they got a dystopian pay by palm biometric payment option. And they're doing away with it. Again, if someone hacks your biometrics one time, you're done. That's what they can never fix. They can never answer. They can never answer to that with the whole biometric thing and scam of tracking and tracing everyone. Once your biometrics are hacked, you are done. You're done. Can't replace your fingerprints, your iris, all the key points on your face, none of that. It's dangerous. It's over at that point if they try to step in there without the right safeguards. Maybe that's why they're doing away with it. Because just imagine for like one of the first ones that gets hacked and people's biometrics are leaked out there. Your biometrics getting leaked are different than a password, man, or your address, or even a social security number. All of it combined. All that ultimately could be technically replaced or switched. You know, technically. Not that they're going to do this for your social security or anything, but they could. In a situation like this, you can't replace anything. And for people, oh, you can go get new fingerprints put on. Well, like, good luck with that. Trump gets shot down by the Supreme Court, so it seems, until they come out and they say, oh no, he just rebuffed everything that I wanted. I can do whatever I want. He was popping off at the mouth today and had his old Lutnick there, his handler, over his shoulder. You know, Lutnick has been around since Blind 11 and was crying on camera about it reminded me of Erica Kirk with, you know, trying to sell the whole thing with emotion. He just so happened to take his kid to school for the first time in his life on that morning. And just like all the other individuals with his background, they all missed work that day. And imagine that. And the average age of the people, he said on that, was 33 years old. That right there was them telling you it was them. Their job. Do you understand? The 33. So let's see what Trump has to say here.
And great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no.
He appointed them.
But you can't knock their loyalty. It's one thing you can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. It's my opinion that the court...
He goes on trying to say that they're being swayed by foreign interests.
It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small
and
movement.
You have to listen to her
I won by
story.
millions of votes. We won in a landslide.
Because she needs the comfort. And if you're a guy, you have to back
hate it
off
when it does
because
that.
she probably doesn't.
Start playing another video behind that last clip there. Well, here's he says that the SCOTUS actually reaffirmed tariff powers after sitting there saying what he said, and then he comes out and he announces a 10% global tariff on everything. To be clear, we Americans are the ones paying this tariff. Everyone's been saying it here loud and clear. If you've missed it, we've been saying it since Jump Street. No one seemed to understand. MAGA especially seemed to be like a deer in headlights, or just dumb, couldn't download the information we simply gave them of, you're paying for this. No, we're not. Yeah, you are. Like in every single move, and you have every example in the world, and they, for some reason, somewhere along the way, were like suckered into believing through black magic that everyone else around the world was going to pay for these tariffs, when it was never said. They're masters of illusion, and he worked this base till they crushed it. They don't even care about it no more. Worked it, and they don't. They flip them off. Screw you. You're like, you're a bunch of pedo protectors. Like, screw you. Like, they don't care about none of you. Like, they used you for their own gain, and now that he don't need none anymore, he don't need voters ever again, the gloves are off. This guy, this is why the Supreme Court said this. It was illegal because you want to know why he was brazen enough to sit there and tell you that we'll do away with income taxes, because they're making so much money on this tariff. They're making so much money that if America woke up and realized it, they could buck wild. This is why they're offering to send you $2,000 checks. And even then, people are just sitting there like, all I can ever say about this place is people are docile. They're like brain dead zombies. Nobody taking any action. Thinks somebody else is going to come save the day. And their inaction leads to this, because that's all it ever takes. All it ever takes for evil to get to this point is for the good to sit back and do nothing. How good is that, really? Are you really good in doing that? Or just chicken shit? Seriously. Everyone's got families. Everyone's got something to lose. Everyone has got something to put on the line all the time. Like, no one willing to step up. I first look at those that took an oath to protect this place. And I find nothing. So when you've got pedos and guys running with pedo protectors, you got these fools all up in the Epstein files, and you ain't got no one out there ready to ride, this place is cooked. When guys that took an oath are sitting there seeing all these guys are pedo protectors, and then they go over to Twitter and they keep tweeting MAGA, like, you piece of, every one of you, like any one of you that are promoting these after knowing this, you're a coward, especially those that took an oath, because you fear losing your cush life is what it is. You took an oath actually to defend this country against this beast, and you won't do it. You rather sit there tweeting every day and living comfortable. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Okay? Because if you rode for what you said you would, there'd be something. And if anyone would do something, you would be a spark for the youth. You'd give somebody something to believe in, something to see. We have nothing. Nada. No one. No group. No nothing. Something rises. It's got to be an inspiration for the youth, man. This place is done, man. I'm sick and tired of sitting here and just watching this mob and this mafia run this with black magic, and we all know it at this point, and no one wants to do anything. Call for what it is, at least. Be honest about it. Why we're here. Why nothing is getting done. Well, I thought there were people that were supposed to protect us. This is what people are going to say. Well, who? People that took an oath, right? That's what I keep telling you. You've got them all around you. All of you do. So there's no excuse. Maybe some of you listening. Most people just don't care. They're about saving their own skin. And in some instances, when other people out there don't care about you, they're like, why should I sacrifice everything for people who don't care about me? You see, we've got a divided and broken country, man. So bad. It needs healing. It needs to come together. We need something grassroots, revolutionary. We truly do. You're going to have nothing. Just watch this place fall into chaos, city by city. That's what happened.
There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our companies and country will actually increase because of this decision. I don't think the court meant that, but it's the way it is. Based on long-standing law and hundreds of victories, and even, as I was pointed out before, even thousands of victories over the years, to the contrary, the Supreme Court did not overrule tariffs. They merely overruled a particular use of IEEPA tariffs. And essentially, it's used to get a fee. I can do anything I want with IEEPA. Anything. I just can't charge anybody for it. I can license, I just can't charge them. It's ridiculous, but it's okay because we have...
See, this is him going on about the tariff thing, so you can understand here. He's putting a 10% tariff on top of this. Again, the people pay for it. I wish everybody luck out there. If you got any ideas, you want to rally, you want to do something, let me know. What's it say? Boogaloo 2026. What's up, DC Hawaii? Thank you for that. Super chat. What's up? You got an event? What you got? You got an event? You got something going, man? Anybody's got any events going on? Let me know. I'll be down to. I don't know if I could make it to Hawaii. It's one place I won't be making it to. I guess not. Because I ain't flying at this rate. But I'll meet you here in the States. I'm down to ride anywhere in the States. Enough people show up. I mean, I'll go in enemy territory, but I ain't walking into no traps. You heard me. So, legal expert Jonathan Turley confirms that Trump still has powerful tools. Just a quick clip. What he's saying?
The administration has other tools in its toolbox. It can actually impose tariffs under other statutes. So this night is hardly over for the administration when it comes to tariffs.
It's just another avenue. They can do whatever they want, right? And look at this. Spot the op without the U.S. defense spending by President. Trump has more than anyone ever in history. As you can see by the graph. Trump just dwarfs everybody. I mean, just crazy. It's going to continue. He's just getting going with this administration. Remember when I told you we had more and more people fleeing California? Steven Spielberg, the latest to leave California, and he has this movie that they're about to drop on Disclosure. Now, I'm going to touch on the whole alien disclosure thing here in the very end. Okay? We are in one of the wildest times in history. They are in the process of disclosing to you, to everyone right now, what's happening with life, so to speak, outside of us. Just put it that way. And he is key in this. I mean, Spielberg knows a lot, but I mean, him fleeing California, it's like, who is next? You know, so he's bouncing to Manhattan. I wonder who will be next. Hawaii has a bill that would allow the government to quarantine people, to enter the property, to seize firearms, to suspend laws. Like, what? Hey, bro, I was just talking about Hawaii. What? Hawaii legislature is advancing companion legislation that would formally codify sweeping emergency powers for the governor and county officials, including authority to quarantine individuals. Why would they be doing this now? Dude, this ain't good. Is somebody jumping the gun here? Or is this the beginning? They're so bracing they're going to do this right now before the next event. Emergency powers for governors and city officials to quarantine individuals. You know what this means. To enter private property without consent, without a warrant, to suspend laws, to seize control of infrastructure. Dude, what are they getting ready for? Dude, this is like unprecedented. This is like crazy. House Bills 2236 and Senate Bill 2151. Both titled Relating to Emergency Management. Dude, this is like this is top level, like, what the, like, no, like quarantining and all this, like, this is not what you want to see. Like, this is like bad. This is real bad. This is like real bad. Not good, dude. This isn't good. This isn't good. They're getting ready. They're getting ready. They're making sure that things, their infrastructure things are already in place when this thing goes live. Do you see? They're that brazen. They're doing it right in front of your fucking face, man. They're doing it. This ain't good. This ain't good at all. They're starting way out there on the island where everyone's like trapped. You can go nowhere. You're stuck. Yeah. We got all the signs that, like, they're getting ready to do it again. We have got all the signs they are about to do this again. I guess everybody's just gonna sleep on that. You got warning signs that they're about to do something. I guess everybody's still gonna go on that vacation, not gonna worry about it, right? Just everybody's gonna continue on partying, right? That's how I feel about it. Like, nobody is taking this serious. Oh well, all we could do is put the word out, and I guess start just worrying about yourself at this point, because other people don't want to listen. Those other people will become the problem, though, I'm telling you. Because they won't have supplies. They will fall victim to this. That's been the warning this whole time, man. I got a huge problem with armed individuals that want to come and round you up and enter your private property with no warrant, to snatch you up and take your firearms and suspend all laws. Like, dude, like, this is like, I can't. Please wait while we reconnect you. Successfully connected. Like, what just happened? It disconnected the chat. Can I get a 5x5? I'm gonna refresh. live on Rumble, live on YouTube. And I was going to go live on X till I seen that you have to have a premium account, which I did away with. 0 by 5. Right. 5 by 5s. All right, there we go. Yeah. So, I did away with the Rumble or the X premium account because I'm paying for it. Like what? I'm so censored. It wasn't doing me no good anyway. There was no difference. Didn't get me out of the dungeon or anything like that. But I mean, it does help to have a verification. But what is verification? It's not even real verification. All they want is money. I don't know, man. Can't even live stream to X without having it. So I got to think. I got to put some thought into that one. I was going to start streaming over here just because got to reach down every avenue. I'm paying for restream. I might as well, but oh no. Can't even stream over there. You're going to pay some money. I don't know, guys. I'm going to leave you on that warning on Hawaii. Not good. The Hawaii bills. Remember that. When I say it down the road, remember the Hawaii bills that wanted to quarantine people, enter your property, and all that? I wonder what the next state would be. Here's one out of Florida. Florida House votes to phase out non-school property taxes for homeowners. Now heads to Senate. This is good. This is key. Thank you, Cracker. Anytime they're going to throw a tax on something, then you can say that there's no freedom. Just like property. Pay the property off. They want to keep taxing you every year on it. Then you're not free. They even said a Trump administration said they were going to do away with that. They said a lot of things that they ain't done, but to do away with property taxes for homeowners is a big step. It's better than not, right? Because that's a big chunk of people's monthly bill there, and if you don't have to save up for the property taxes, it's a win for the people. In my book. So every state's different. Florida putting these moves in motion. When it comes to the entire country, what is the safest in terms of nuclear fallout? Well, thought I had the rundown list there. It didn't. If you look here at the map, lowest to highest survival odds, New England, they've got up here for survival odds for apocalyptic survival. Places that don't fare too well, Nevada is like at the top. Hawaii is the number one because you're cut off extremely. Well, the arid conditions, I'd say, out here in Nevada play a big part of it, but I'm not sold on that apocalyptic survival is going to be easiest up here in this area at all. Like, at all. Yeah, we've got Wyoming out here. And then you got Louisiana. Catch you like, what? Apocalyptic survival, Louisiana. Boot. Those are like the higher tier ones. And you've got like ones behind it. Montana got survivability, they say, Florida. Places like that. But I'm going to tell you that, like, I think half of them are talking crap. Yeah. It's all people do for the most part. If you think that without power and without all the amenities that you have in your daily life, that you're going to survive throughout even the winter we just had up here in one of these places, you're crazy. With zero power the entire time, you better be out there cutting trees all summer just to survive through the winter. I do that and I'm in Kentucky. I live off grid. I live the survival style. Do you understand that? All these people saying that they're going to go way up here. Yeah, right. 20 feet of snow. What are you going to do? Like, the only thing you could do at that point is like, you'd have to have everything stocked up completely. Like 1000% for like all 3 months supply, which is impossible to do if you want fresh milk, fresh eggs, fresh all that stuff. Okay? It's not going to be a comfortable experience. But this is surviving. The whole idea has been trying to make a survival experience as comfortable as possible and not a nightmare. Crazy. You're down in Florida, half the cats you'll see down there, those places will be like, oh yeah, we're snowbirds. We've got a place up in Maine or something, or Vermont. I've met some good people that have said this. And they're like, yeah, we're coming down here for the winter because they couldn't survive the winter up there. And of course, they got the money to go back and forth and to do all that. That's nice, but not everybody has that luxury. All right. So people got to pick a spot and that's it. Right. I'm going to tell you, in terms of surviving, the further south you go is where it's at. If you're going to be homeless, you got to live on the street and winter hits, you're going to want to be living in like the southern states, not anywhere in the north, or you're dead. Just right off top, common sense. Okay? So, Stephen, thank you for that. When they shed, let me catch up to that comment real quick. When they shed a ban you Bill, you know it's because you're over the target. They don't want you. Normies do well. Hey, you got that right. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it to the fullest. And I thank you to everyone out there that shares the stream. I wish all of you luck if this place gets hit by nukes. But, like, I think they're going to release something before that ever happens. They'll shut the lights out and they'll reset the system and they'll release something. And the AI itself, they need something to remove people. We're at that point. So somebody's up here 17 months. Meat puppet, much love, pure blood for life. You got that right. We're at a point where I'm convinced that, like, there's going to be a spot of time, a window here where they're going to make a push to kill a bunch of us. I mean, a bunch of us. Globally. Like, everybody. Didn't matter. And you're going to have to tear into the Chinese and the Indian populations big time because they're the biggest populations. If you truly want to reduce, numbers, it would be horrific in some of those places. I foresee. It would be horrific here. It would be horrific anywhere. This next event, it'll be real. I think what they've spent all this time doing is making sure that the death rate, the kill rate on it is like in a certain range. They don't want it to get out of control, but like anything with COVID was super, super low compared to like anything that they've ran with bird flu. Anything that they've ran with bird flu in the test, you're talking like 50% rates and stuff like that. You're talking way higher rates here in terms of bodies dropping in real deal. It would be from the disease, from the sickness itself. All designed to run everybody toward the 666 patented jab. And my belief that's sitting there waiting to be used with luciferase. I don't think there's any avoiding it. It's a question of when at this point. And they got to take out a bunch of people. They'll get those Deagle numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when this happens, places like Facebook will like try to keep the world thinking you're alive. And I'm not kidding. You can see it on the screen. Like, you could be dead and gone. And they're admitting this right now. And they would like to keep you posting after you're dead. Do you see that on the screen? This is crazy, man. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. If an estate, if like you're someone, there's an estate, and they make that decision, and they're putting stuff up like Tupac. Tupac's been dead forever, and he's got a Tupac estate, and they put shirts and new like music and clips and little things out on there, but they post it. Everyone knows it's not him in a sense, just like anyone else that's dead. But the wrong people get into doing stuff like that, and it becomes dicey, man. They can start posting political type stuff that like maybe didn't even align with what the original person would have thought or anything like that, man. They could twist it, is what I'm saying. And like, I'd rather just keep it to where the last words of a person were the last words of a person, and not make it seem like anything else. Like they got opinions on stuff and all that. No, that's different. That's like faking stuff. And I'm not about none of that. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. That's meta for you. Right? Here's a good update for anyone out there that is dealing with colon cancer. They have a breakthrough. This comes right after we talked about the passing of James Vanderbeek. They've made a breakthrough. They say they discovered a protein that can prolong life, that blocking a single protein inside the cells could dramatically slow colorectal cancer. They're saying in this claim. So it's a huge plus here. We all know that they've got cures for a ton of this stuff and that they're just keeping their mouth shut anyway. But there's been an explosion in this stuff because of all the chemicals and the crap they put out there. And so many people dealing with this stuff. None of us live forever. When you're getting attacked, it's like going onto a battlefield. We're in a battlefield, and there's the shots being shot at from everywhere. There's weapons going off. Well, the weapons are different, so to speak. And the weapons are in your food. The weapons are in the air. They're in the water. You know what I'm saying? So it's a real deal. It's a real deal. And people don't see it that way. People just don't see it until it's too late sometimes. And of course, if you're not staying on top of everything and living as healthy as possible, this stuff can creep up. Of course, also, you could be born with a gene that makes you susceptible to certain things. And it's just the way that life goes, right? Versus getting it from like, glyphosate or something like that. Steve, welcome to the underground. Much love. So prayers going out to anyone out there dealing with any of this. And I pray that the power of Jesus and the Most High overcomes any of it and heals all of it. As you believe, you'll speak it into existence. So we have a minor, a teenager here, a student participating in an anti-ICE protest in West Palm Beach, Florida, struck by a vehicle. So it's happened again. Remember, I told you there was one in Nebraska where the kid was struck and the parents were irate. And I mean, being a lawyer or anything like that, I would say, you got a huge case, any lawyer out there that sees it, I would think would say that. And look at this. Look at these kids. Just look at. You wonder why they're getting hit. Yeah, there was red light, but I mean, they're frantic, they're going nuts. I'm sure some of these people or parents are cheering them on. Others are pissed. So some parents are at the light right here, while some are sitting here honking. Not necessarily parents, but some parents, I've showed you the clip. They've pulled up and they've seen their freaking kid out there and even yelled at them, and they're like, "Nah, nothing you can do, mom. School already knows about it. See you later." Like, the school's got us out here. So you have the question, like, where do you have your kids going to school? So, this is the other clip.
In the classrooms across Palm Beach County, hundreds of students from several schools walked out and took to the streets to protest against the latest crackdown on illegal immigration. Students walked in front of West Palm Beach City Hall earlier today as ICE agents ramp up their crackdown on illegal immigration across the nation. Students raised signs and teachers tried to keep the peace. It wasn't just in West Palm Beach. Protesters gathered in Lake Worth Beach as well, where students from two schools left during class time. Students from Lake Worth Beach High and John I. Leonard High left their campuses around 1 p.m. Both groups met at Lake Worth Beach City Hall. Protesters also gathered in Royal Palm Beach. Our Jamilka Gibson spoke with protesters in Royal Palm Beach earlier today. She joins us now at the Palm Beach County School District headquarters with the very latest. Jamilka?
The students at Royal Palm Beach Community High School chose to wait until the final bell because they were afraid of consequences like being suspended. But that didn't make their stance any less powerful. These are some of the signs hoisted high earlier today. This one reading, "Hate doesn't make America great." And this one here, "Protect our people, not power." They're young, but their message is clear. Students from Royal Palm Beach Community High School lining the sidewalk at State Road 7 and Okeechobee Boulevard Monday afternoon. Signs raised high above their heads read, "Immigrants built this country," and "Liberty and justice for all," as chants echoed through the busy intersection.
Say it loud, say it clear, we do not have any fear, say it once.
Bunch of rebranded BLM stuff, and they don't know that. Some of these kids are so young, they've never even heard of BLM or paid attention. They're all just now in school, getting to this point to where they're waking up to this worldly stuff, and here the school is politicizing the kids big time. And yeah, certain things should be taught for sure and exercised, but it's the whole thing about being behind a parent's back that really sets me off. Like, when parents think that their kids at school, in the classroom, studying and learning, but no, they're out getting hit by cars in the street. That right there is what really bothers me. Putting them at risk. But yeah, they should be educated, but again, they're just being manipulated. If they want real education, send them over here to Dabu 7. We'll get them squared away, but they won't allow that. Over here on this platform, I reach 0 youth. 0. A goose egg. They will not allow it. It shows what they're scared of. If we could get the information that we have through to the youth and reach them at this stage, this early of an age, with the knowledge we have versus just getting brainwashed by whatever, at this point we hit them with the truth, like it would be truly game over. It's the last thing they want, and they make it clear to me. I'd be willing to go give speeches to youth groups all over the place if I could, because it's all about sparking this right here. Like all this energy, it's about harnessing the energy, right, for the right thing, right? And they have to be taught the right thing, the right tactics here. They need to see the full picture, right? If not, they're just going to go through the same cycle as most people, get pulled into one side of the left right paradigm, and that's where they want to keep you. And most people will stay there for a long time until they figure it out. Like, hold on, I'm done with this. All right, we've got the same clip right there. Right, we've got a warning here for iCloud services. And this is an admission for Apple products. Pay attention on this one. They say it's the greatest platform for distributing child CP. Apple, iCloud services. So, just so you know, that's who's been enabling this. You don't think you didn't see anything on their platform and flag it? No, they've been letting all this go down. Bill Gates pulls out of his high-profile Indian summit. This was an AI summit, and it's all because this Epstein fallout starts to accelerate. You can see here's a list of emails exchanged with Jeffrey Epstein. The numbers. You could see LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman in there, Bill Gates, Microsoft founder Steve Bannon, who tried to play this whole thing down, act like he had no connections, and even tried to do this whole recording thing to where I don't know. He thinks he's slick, and he's not. He tried to do this whole recording thing of Bannon, I guess, for when he knew that something was going to go down with Epstein. And when the day did, he could try to cover his tail with it and say that he only talked to him through because of this documentary. But no, that's not the case. He's exposed and so much more in this, and he's a fraud. Bannon, Hoffman, Gates, all of them are all in on this. And the names are coming out, but no one's getting arrested. Just put it that way. Oh, everyone's getting embarrassed, but no one's getting arrested. Everyone's getting embarrassed, but no one's getting arrested. Like, what is going on? Yep. Big problem. Big problem. So, New Mexico launches investigations into the Zorro Ranch. Now, this is big. Well, it's a jump. It's a start. Let's just put it that way. This is where we know bodies are. They know this. They should have been on this instantly as soon as all this went down. Like the night that any investigator out there read in New Mexico and heard that there was bodies buried on the Zorro Ranch, they should have been going in filing stuff to go in, get a warrant and check it. The problem is how high is the corruption? Is there a judge there that says, oh no, because they're a Mason and they're in on the whole thing and they're going to protect it and they're going to, whatever first? How much of that's going on? How much corruption, high levels? Because trust me, it's all over the place. 2 minors strangled to death at Epstein Ranch after rough fetish sexual relations are 2 of many that are said to be there. And, people are raising huge questions about Bannon, even saying that Bannon was connected to the whole huge purchases of these chemicals to fill up this hot tub. And some are saying that it was the same thing like with Epstein there to dispose of bodies. And others said that there's a bunch of this stuff going down. It's all pouring out here. All these people connected to this. Let's go to Les Wexner. Under oath, he tells lawmakers that Epstein was an advisor for the Rothschild family.
I think it was his experience at an industrial level, like working for a big company like Bear Stearns, and then he had done personal work for the Rothschild family in France.
Personal wealth management, essentially?
I don't know.
We've seen some reports that he would present himself as a bounty hunter, that he would find people's missing money. Do you recall him saying anything like that?
No. Well, specifically, I talked to Ellie de Rothschild, and so I mentioned that earlier. So he represented their whole family, so there had been a whole bunch of people. I mean, most of them I never would have met, but I knew Ellie. I never met people, but there were people that called me that either insinuated or said they knew Jeffrey through a financial relationship. And so, I mean, they could have been actors, but in the time, a guy calls me up. I'll give you an example. It's just no, because I want you to understand this, because it's so confusing to me. He would say, like, I'm providing financial advice to the founders of Google. I'm providing financial advice to Jeff Bezos. I'm providing financial advice for the chief technologist at Google. And wow, I'm in good company, because these are really smart guys with a lot of money. And you have to put yourself in the mindset of if my attorney said, he was qualified to argue in front of the Supreme Court, I'd believe him. I didn't say to call the Supreme Court and say, tell me, is he really an attorney, or did he do this?
So that's one clip of him talking here. There's another that is really kind of shocking. It is his freaking handler, lawyer, that grabs him and says, I'll effing kill you if you give anything other than a 5-word response. They try to play it off like it's nonchalant, but man, it's like I'll play the clip and you can see.
It was just regularly done.
Answer another question. 5 words, okay? Answer the question.
Okay.
You see that? He said it straight up. And then says, answer the question. And they say it with arrogant, like smiles. And it's like, this really, I mean, it has a mob feel. This is how they operate, man. They don't have to sit there and scream and slam things. No, they sit there and they'll whisper it in your ear and they'll laugh and they'll smile. That they're his handlers here in this whole thing. It's obvious. They have control of him and think this was the money muscle for Epstein. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And here's another thing with Wexner. Thomas Massey went in front of our Congress this past week, and he showed that one of the people in a child trafficking case with his face covered was Les Wexner. Not in any other kind of criminal case, the child trafficking case, a criminal case, and they were hiding his face. Okay, what's up? Man should be getting arrested. All this stuff. These guys are all part of the club.
Did you ever spend time with Epstein and Donald Trump?
Together?
Yes.
I want to answer this question accurately. I would go to some of the Victoria's Secret fashion shows because it's very important to the brand. at some of the fashion shows, Jeffrey was there, and some Trump was there. And I remember, because Trump would always introduce himself to me. And I always thought it was kind of odd that he was at the fashion show because he had nothing to do with fashion. So the coincidence of them being together at an event, it could have been that, but I have no specific recollection. They never had a social or like a drink or a cup of coffee, something, that would put them together.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I want to make sure we're clear on the record, you're saying that you can recall instances potentially where Epstein and Trump were together and you were in their presence, or just a random scenario where Epstein may be there, Trump may be there separately, and then you would know?
So that you know, this is what this is like what a deposition is like. Is what they're all going in there. They're giving deposition on mic with a lawyer, and that's it. That's it. They're embarrassed. They're not. No one is going to jail. Okay, except for this goon. He is the only one. He did not go to jail for anything to do with the PDFs, pedo stuff. No. Nope. Instead, it was financial stuff connected to Epstein, yes. But, I mean, you take your victories where you get them, right? He's going down. It's pretty bad. The royal family can do this to this guy, and Trash Patel says there's no list. I mean, they stripped this guy of his royal title. There's a list. And Trash Patel and company just covering it up. It's ridiculous. Again, there should be protests in the streets. Would you know that all of this is tied into ritual? And that this man really isn't suffering big time. They'll have you believe that, but they'll have you believe a lot of things. He was just arrested on his 66th birthday. Let me go over here and share with you the image from tonight that I kicked out. So you can understand what's going on here. You see this? April 24th, 2024. 5 horses belonging to the regiment closely associated with the king went buck, and there was blood all over the place, and bloody horses, bloody white horses were running. Okay. 666 days exactly after this ritualistic event, Andrew is arrested in ritualistic nature at 66 years old. So that's what this whole thing is. It's all ritual. You're dealing with witches, wizards, and warlocks, large scale. That's just the way that it is. It's the fact. It's the way this place works. King Charles saying the law must take its course. He put out an official statement saying that since his brother wanted to give up confidential financial records to Epstein, that the law is going to have to do what it does. He went into jail and was released after almost 12 hours. He did a 12-hour shift sitting, in a little cell. And then he's out. And that's probably the most he'll ever see at this point. So with the Epstein stuff, that's stuff that's going to keep unfolding and unloading. And I'll update as we get more stuff and dive down some rabbit holes. I've got some stuff on the side. I'm still collecting some details on before I drop, connected to it on some other stuff. And if you guys ever got any information out there connected to any of these stories, let me know. Dabu7@yahoo.com. I understand some of the stuff can be dangerous. But in this life, man, you make a move or you don't. Yes, be smart about everything, but yeah, adrenochrome, yeah, definitely key to the whole thing. They don't want to talk about that. Let me jump into some of the politics on the back end of this. In New York, people are furious. Mom Donnie proposing to defund the police, and he's got people already fleeing. It's happening. It really is. People are already leaving, pissed off because of the moves he's making. Yeah, so now I want to play this clip from Susan Rice, and I want everyone to like understand what I'm saying here with this, okay? I think it's a fair warning. I can't stand Susan Rice, okay? You know, she comes from what, the left, in the years with the Obama administration, all that crap, pushing all their agendas. Well, or even back what, the Bushes or something like. She goes back in like deep state. Like you want to talk about deep state characters? She's definitely an old school deep state. She repeats a warning that I've been giving you. So it's going to get repeated again. Everyone, you need to listen up. I thank God when he gives me these visions, these inklings, right when he does, because we've known this forever. And how do I know it? Because God put it in my mind. He's brought it in my consciousness. Like, maybe everything going on the books here is going to be flipped on all this MAGA. And then all of a sudden, confirmations start to pop up all over the place. This is one of those confirmations. Okay? I told you, all of these laws put on the books being used against Antifa will be flipped when they put Newsom in or whoever they put in. Next man with a mask, whatever, however they want to do it. When they do this, all these laws that MAGA sat back and watched be used against Antifa and the left, they will be used against them. As MAGA sits there docile and dumbed down under this black magic, when these tables turn, they will become the hunted.
But when it comes to the elites, you know, the corporate interests, the law firms, the universities, the media, I agree with you, Preet. It is not. It's not going to end well for them. For those that decided that it was, you know, that they would act in their perceived very narrow self-interest, which I would underscore is very short-term self-interest, and, you know, take a knee to Trump. I think they're now starting to realize, wait a minute, you know, this is not popular. Trump is not popular. What he is doing, whether on the economy and affordability or on immigration now, is not popular. And that there is likely to be a swing in the other direction. And they are going to be caught with more than their pants down. They're going to be held accountable by those who come in opposition to Trump and win at the ballot box. And I can tell you, Preet, you know, as I talk to leaders in Washington, leaders in our party, leaders in the states, if these corporations think that the Democrats, when they come back in power, are going to, you know, play by the old rules, and say, oh, never mind, we'll forgive you for all the people you've fired, all the policies and principles you've violated, all, you know, the laws you've skirted. I think they've got another thing coming because, you know, just like when Trump thought, okay, I'll redistrict and the Democrats won't have the guts to play hardball. They're going to be surprised. Democrats have had a belly full, and we're not going to play by the old set of rules when these guys are playing by a very different set of rules. We're going to play by the law, but we're not going to violate the law the way they do, but we're not going to be suckers. And so I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental. There will be an accountability agenda. Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas. If they've done something wrong, they'll be held accountable. And if they haven't broken the law, good for them. If they've done the right things, good for them. That also will be noted and remembered. But this is not going to be an instance of forgive and forget.
Right.
The damage that these people are doing is too severe to the American people and to our national interest. But
So you see there that she's clearly saying they're going to turn the tables. She's saying that the way I decipher it is pretty simple. That just get ready. When the tables turn, all the laws are going to be used against the other side. To hunt them for anything and everything. And it would be the same thing, the same laws used, that even executive orders that Trump put on the books, because they were open-ended. Just like going after domestic terrorists, it was open-ended. It didn't say it had to all be people on the left. No, it's just he's right-leaning and they're targeting left, Antifa. So since they didn't say nothing about MAGA was blind and oblivious to it. Just didn't even care. As soon as a left-leaning president gets in there, it's over. It's over because they're going to use the exact laws that Trump put on the books against MAGA. I guess anyone that voted for Trump ain't got to be MAGA. Anyone that voted for Trump, they're going to, on the right, anyone that was out there big time, bandwagoning him on the Trump train, they're going to hunt him. They would become the hunted. You watch. That's why you don't get caught in this left-right paradigm. It ain't worth it. Was it worth protecting pedos? Was it? So Tucker Carlson, an asset trained by the alphabet gangs, obviously a pigeon, sitting there being used by whoever. And this whole thing about detainment in Israel shows that. He gets treated like a rock star status with hugging the people there and all this. And then they try to make a big deal of it, like, but they do everybody. They scan everybody like this. Everybody gets, checked out, so to speak. But not everybody gets hugs and all that stuff. And he does. And they've got the clips of it all right here of of when other people are scared like half to death, and he's taking photos and hugging and all that stuff. Rock star status. They're like, yeah, there was no threat there. There's no threat. Basically normal procedure, but he had some pictures taken. Move past this. We're going to go to, let's jump into some of the war updates here, and we'll try to wrap it up here within this next half hour. Anyone just checking in here at the top, thank you for joining. Hit subscribe, hit the bell notification. Going to cover some of this war stuff, and we're going to dive into the disclosure here that looks to be coming at any time. First off, they talk about Europe's civilizational war being bloody. I don't doubt it. Any of these wars, where it's going to get bloody, even here in America. So that when it comes to Israel and Gaza, they want to take 5,000 international troops and station them in the area. So you have this big board of peace that they're establishing. They're going to put 5,000 international troops in the area to protect it. And they're going to start building in the area where, you know, they've completely flattened it. I showed, thank you, Kenzo. I showed a video clip of an Israeli soldier on a live stream talking to a guy, and he was trying to brag. He showed him outside, it's all flat. We flattened it all. And he was trying to brag about raping the women and children when he killed them. And the dude called him out like, you're a piece of. He's like, I'm showing you to the world. Everyone's going to know you're a dog. But that's what they've done over there in flattening all of Gaza. And Canada is talking about letting foreigners join their military so they can fast track them to be a citizen or something. This is crazy. It's a quick way to get infiltrated. Very quick. But that's what they're talking about doing. And Trump doesn't really have any valid anything right here with Iran, but he is weighing striking them. Why? Just to get them to hurry up with the deal. Like, some people are saying this is crazy. Right here, I think is this a video of it? Okay.
But Israel and Iran, and we'll see where that goes. But when you think of Israel, we've done the biggest thing of all. We have peace in the Middle East right now. That's bigger than people said it couldn't be done. For 3,000 years, they've been talking about Middle East. They said it couldn't be done. And you look at...
He just said we got peace in the Middle East. People said it couldn't be done 3,000 years. You're getting ready to bomb Iran. Man, this guy lives in his own little demented world sometimes.
What's happened in Gaza. And one of the keys to it was when we took those beautiful, magnificent, we just ordered 22 more of them, updated model. The B-2 bombers are incredible. I never understood the B-2 bomber. I'd watch, it's a wing. And I've never quite understood that, Johnny. I'd look at it, I'd say it was beautiful, but what does it do? It carries very big bombs. And it went into Iran and it totally decimated the nuclear potential. And when it decimated that, all of a sudden we had peace in the Middle East because there was a black cloud hanging over the Middle East. And if that wasn't done, that cloud would have been there. And countries like Saudi Arabia, countries like Qatar, countries like, nobody could have signed. You would have had that threat. You couldn't have had peace in the Middle East. So now we may have to take it a step further, or we may not. Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days. But this.
So he's putting a warning out there. They got 10 days. Big thing's going to go down. He says bad things will happen if Iran does not make a deal with the U.S. So it's where we sit. Like, they're on the table. They're surrounded with military. Look, you got U.S. naval and air buildup all around, big time. You got the Ford carrier group entering the Mediterranean. It joins the biggest U.S. buildup since the 2003 Iraq War. Yeah. When they launched full scale finally after 9/11. Yeah. This is huge. That's how big of an armada is over there. So when he calls it an armada, it's for a good reason. We've got so much going on there. Real assistant, thank you for the coffees. I appreciate that more than you know. All the support is appreciated. So, we're going to watch them. Here is one clip of Iran and China finally showing up, and they put a NOTAM up in the waters here, so they could do a drill. This is a choke point at the Straits of Hormuz.
یگان‌های سطحی، زیر سطحی و پروازی یا رسمایش مرکب دریایی نیروهای دریایی ایران و روسیه از شرق تنگه هرمز تا
I mean, they've got a lot of ships. They've got a lot of At some point, there's going to be interaction. I keep getting this feeling that the stage is set for them to sink one of our battleships. Like one of our ships is like due to get sunk. Like a bunch of them are old anyway. And like, look, the way they play, if they could like just sink an old vessel and like catch it live and show the whole world sailors jumping into the ocean, all dramatic and all this stuff, it would give them every reason and excuse in the world to obliterate Iran. But they got to watch out. Did they forget that the Iron Dome didn't stop the hypersonic missiles? No one has shown they can stop a hypersonic missile. And I seen Colonel McGregor talking about this the other day with other people saying, look, no one has ever shown that we can stop one when it comes to our battleships. Because the guy asked, he's like, what happens if they shoot a hypersonic missile at our battleship? And he's like, we can't stop it. What does that tell you? All they got to do is fire at it and it's over. We can't even stop it. There's always someone out there like, oh yeah, we can. We got the baddest weapons on the planet. Here on this world stage, on these war fronts, we don't. And we ain't. And you're just talking smack at that rate because Iran launched hypersonics that went right through the Iron Dome and hit Tel Aviv. And that's why, even out of their own mouth, they pumped the brakes this last time and didn't strike when they were going to. Because they knew there was going to be blowback. Well, there will be when they do. They still don't have a means. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I'm fully expecting something's going to get hit. No one has demonstrated that you can stop a hypersonic. And even if you do, then that would be the first time. What about all the other hundreds that have been launched and hit their targets? Like, the only way is to like decapitate strike and to hit first and to take out those guns that can shoot the hypersonics and hit them first and hit them with hypersonics. It's a hypersonic game, man, and people aren't even ready for it. The next big war gonna be a different animal here. And someone, thank you for the coffees. Again, I appreciate it to the fullest, man. So contradictory reports are saying that the U.S. is evacuating troops from bases. Then others are trying to say, oh, no, that's not true. But then others are saying that the ones saying it's not true are actually just running cover. They're just running cover, trying to cover tail so they can get everybody out and try not to make a big scene out of it, which is... And let's dive into the release of all UFO and alien files. This has been ordered by Donald Trump. This in itself, you could say, huge, absolutely bombshell, massive. Some say, oh, they're going to play it right, and the timing it's right there. You tell me you're going to play it with all this Epstein stuff coming out like it is. The timing. Okay, Flash Car, welcome to the underground. Come on. They're literally playing the alien card as this is unfolding. They are, literally. And it's not going to work. I take that back. Okay. When it comes to the large mass of the crowd that's docile, not paying attention, they're going to be subverted any way it goes. But for the people that see the pedo network and see everything that's going on, it's raising, a ruckus, like they're on it. And they're the same ones, all of you out there that are saying, oh, we're not going to be distracted by the alien card. You know what I'm saying? Right? They hear you saying this. Spielberg's about to drop a movie. Trump just ordered the release of all files. Get ready. Get ready. A mass is about to happen. At some point at the end of this dumping, Trump makes a speech that we already know is a pre-written speech, and this changes history. It's coming. They told us. They just told us, man. It's going to come. It's going to happen. He's going to do it. So he is an hourglass full of sand that's been flipped. He only has 3 hours, or 3 hours, 3 years left on the clock, right? So to speak, this administration. So this speech that's going to change history is going to be given in this window, no matter what. Just like this financial reset is going to happen in this window, no matter what. A lot of things, man. We in a crazy window of time, okay? I tell you what will get people off of Epstein, because this is what my mind just is filing through all these things. It gets right to the top. It files right to the top. And it's like, okay, well, give me the spot. Give me the part where everyone does. What will yank everybody away from this subject? And then it shows me. Clear, it's one thing. It's one thing and one thing only. They show you. They show you them. They show you with the light of the camera gleaming off their eyes. They show you in HD, the whole world. These entities. That moment changes everything. And even the ones bitching about pedos, they can still gonna be bitching about pedos and not like them. But all of a sudden, you're gonna realize we got another threat in town. The big boss, the ones that our own kind sold us out to, step out the shadows. They've been here the entire time. You wait till even you see one. And there's many different life forms, but which ones they're going to roll out here, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know which ones. It could be a plethora. We know that there's multiples. Look at us. Look at us. We're all different colors and shapes and sizes. I mean, come on now. Are we not? As a human species? Black, brown, yellow, white. Like, we're all these different colors. Come on. Different features and everything else. Like, life out there definitely going to come with a bunch of different feature. In different models of it. There's going to be all types of stuff, I would imagine. Just like you see it all across the world. Why would there not be? There's going to be good and there's going to be bad. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. All I know is that you should know that this is going to be deception. He's playing, and I think Laura Trump put it good. He's playing coy. Okay. This is another thing. Let me back this up. There's a lot happening really quick here. Okay. Throughout all of 2025, the Disclosure Project was launched by Greer and Dr. Greer and all these people at these black sites. And, I think that they're suspect as well. But as the story goes, these black sites have been in operation this whole time, even keeping information from sitting presidents in all this to a degree. And that it's at these black sites where they've got a majority of the crash stuff and alien bodies, entities, things like that. Well, Disclosure went in front of Congress. They told Congress this whole past year all this. They showed the whole world egg-shaped aircraft with hieroglyphics on it. And you could see the video. They recovered it, put straps around it, pulled it out. It was an extraterrestrial vehicle. It was not of human nature, as they put it, of our origin. And it's just one of many. And they showed us this. They showed us retrieving it. Then they showed us shooting a UFO with the Hellfire missile. They showed Congress and the whole world this. Again, the dumbed down, docile masses are idiots that just look past all this. All of this has happened in real time in this reality. Okay? They shouldn't have shot these things. That's mind-blowing. It's unprecedented. Okay? So, keep going. The documentary information had dropped. Congress does its thing. All these little interviews are given. You get to this point into this year. This is set to be the year to where it all really comes out. This must be like a multi-year type of thing where they were seeding it out there like breadcrumbs. And it to really go down like either 2026 or 2027. That's the timeline. Now, you have out of nowhere in an interview, this was seeded without a doubt, purposely. This guy does a total, it's all manufactured. It's how the release of all this stuff. This is a full interview with Barack Obama, but it's only this one little clip that the whole world gets to consume. And they did. They did it. They did the job.
Are aliens
right
real?
Here. Most people seen this, and I'm gonna play the whole thing. You ain't see all the rest of the interview. Hardly nobody out there did. Everybody saw this, and that's all that mattered. This one little piece. Are aliens real? And he says, yes, quick. And then he says, they're not, blah, blah, blah. He does all this other talking, but he says, yes, the truth, right at the gate. He said, the fallen, he didn't, he won't call them the fallen. We call them the fallen for what they are. Because that entails that they're here, and we know this. But he won't say that, because if he calls them the fallen, then why would you call something fallen? They fell from where? They fell from where to where? Huh? See, they won't, it opens up a can of worms. They don't even want to, so they keep it, they won't dare make that connection right now. Because they know full well the fallen of the bad guys in the book, even in your book. They came here, they couldn't keep it in their pants. They stole our women, they bore giants, and they had to flood this place out. It got so bad. See, they worship the fallen. Okay? When you go back to when Obama was inaugurated, it was the first or second term, his big speech address, we played it in reverse. Clean with technologies, hit reverse. Just played it backwards. And it was shocking. He was saying over and over when he was saying, yes, we can. Y'all remember that? You remember that slogan? He was saying, hail to the Pharaoh Zeus. Yeah. Real deal. No BS. That's what this world, as demonic as it gets. It's all done in mirror. It's all done in reverse. It's all done in invert. That's why all this demonic crap is all in Beatles music and all their music back when you play it backwards. It's all there. It's real. So when I heard this cat say that over and over, and it was clear, and it was to everybody, I was like, dude, this is wild. Like, this is one massive ritual. All this is real. All the satanicness is all real. It seethes it. It bleeds through. And if you know how to see it, it's all there. And this dude showed me. I knew back then. We knew. I mean, just right out of their own mouths. So just keep that in consideration. And remember this. Donald Trump, who says, I'm not a Christian. Okay. Donald Trump with the 66th floor penthouse suite that's all gold. The Baron Trump spent many days and growing up in by himself in there, just on camera. They admitted, let him run around there by himself. Not a picture of Jesus anywhere. But on the wall is Apollo. On the table is a statue of Apollo. And on the ceiling, it's like walking into a church, a 16 chapel. The roof's done with paintings in a dome. And it's of Zeus and his children. Apollo, Artemis. This is who they worship. You understand? It's right in front of your face. Go look at, again, just look at their, tell them by their fruits. Look at the words. Look at what they say. Look at what they do. Look at what they surround themselves with. Again, go to the 66th floor penthouse suite. I got a video one, I've covered it. Of Trump, 66th floor penthouse suite. All gold. Nothing but the fallen. You won't find Jesus nowhere in there. Do you understand me? You better know who you're dealing with. I mean, people out there say you're religious, you're spiritual, you believe in Jesus, and you're following these false idols that don't even believe in your Messiah. You better check yourself quick. It's in a political battle. It's a spiritual battle. And you better get with it. There's power here. It's pretty crazy. There's a war, witches and wizards. Truly, we're in right now. And most of the people around here are dumbed down, just sacks of meat that do nothing. They don't know their power. Even if they did, would they utilize it? I would say yeah. In what way, I don't know. But if you at least let them know that they could do something. Like, oh yeah, you could fly. I'm not saying they can't, but if they knew that they could, they would surely do it. Right? So it's the same thing. If they knew that they could do a lot of things in this life, they would do it. But science is kept hidden from them. You call it magic, but it's really just science. That's how I see it. It has to do with things they should have taught you in high school. Polarities, magnetisms, the way that we operate, the way that our bodies operate, our fields, our auras, the whole nine, with the pineal, the way that you speak things into existence. They left all that out, didn't they? They gave you no tools. They left you defenseless. But you have weapons. Your voice is a weapon. It's the best and the prime weapon. It is your sword. You speak anything and everything into existence. God showed you this. They showed you like trying to show a child. He showed you, look what I did. Look what I did. I spoke everything into existence. And you can too. But most people are trained, brainwashed and trained to repeat bad things. Whether it's songs, movies, commercials, all the subliminals. They get you saying, I can't do that. I could never do this. I won't be able to do. You doing that, saying those things, will surely confine you to it. Because that's how this works. How many people just let that soak in? Everything you speak is real. Real, true. Speak life. Speak power. Positive, obviously, as much as you can. And you got to correct yourself. Once you realize that this is a weapon, a sword that you wield, you have to keep it sharpened. You have to be smart with it. Jesus said, sell your cloak and buy a sword. For all of you wanting to scream kumbaya all the time. The king returns with the sword for war, with fire and judgment. Not coming back to sing kumbaya, man. All that'd be done in another life. I think you're missing it. This whole life is to show proof that you can earn your spot in a higher place. You are energy. That's what you are. You're in a vessel. Again, you should have been taught these things to where you comprehended it and you know all of this. Water has memory. You're 70% water. You can pour a cold bath and you can point your finger in it and you can speak intention into it and you can sit in it and soak it up. And this helps bring the intention to you. Now you know. One little thing that can be done to change the game. And, you know, you can use the Holy Spirit, which is provided, and you can walk that path and take the ways that are laid out. Or you can do what is forbidden. And you can cast circles and you can call upon Jen. Once you open this door, you have an option. You can do good, you can do bad. It's just another test once you get here to this level and you realize what it is and how it runs. Once you understand there's tools and you can use them, means you can actually use them. And they work. Because you see they work. Then you really believe. Once this begins, you will never go back. You'd never go back. Because then you understand that there's people around you that know all these key things and they've been using them against you this whole time, keeping their mouths shut. Using you as their pawn. And then you have the temptation of being like, well, I could do the same thing to people. Or you could do good for people. Remember, there's a higher power watching every step of this. Every bit of information and knowledge you get to elevate, it's going to watch you and seeing what you're doing with it. Do not abuse it. I'm warning you. Do not do like these fallen did. Okay? And so many others do. You're given these abilities. Now, you need to understand this because even if there's aliens or fallen here, it does not change the way this place works. It still speak it into existence. Okay? Okay? Meaning these things will have to speak in their own form, in their own way to try to make things happen. It's the same rules. Okay? They just have known them a lot longer and they manipulate them and keep them hidden from you. Now that you start to know them and you figure out more and more and what they're doing, they will see. I guess this was almost destined to be like that. We're coming up on this announcement because they were going to have to, like, our consciousness with this. I feel something all the time, like watching a higher power entity. Like, I know there's a consciousness here, like overseeing us. Something made this whole place. Let's just put it that way. The birds, the bees, every single thing you see around you. Something made this. It's not just a coincidence. It just didn't randomly happen, And then all the minute, finite, crazy things that could go down to where the iris of your eye looks like a galaxy, to where your lungs look like trees and they work together. Just the amazing things of how this whole place was put together. And for someone to think that there's not a higher power watching, observing it, it's just, how stupid can you be? That's how I feel. Something's watching us constantly. And like we're getting to a point here to where it's about to be big time, game time, crunch time. What this means is they're going to pull the big show. Okay? The big show. Big show is the big deception. I'll give my final thoughts on that here. Let me play these clips here. Just to I'm going to finish up with where we're at here.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in, what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
So, not a sitting president, a president of the United States says, they're real. He just says it that quick. He says, they're real, but they're not being, he says it. Trump kind of got butthurt, it seemed like, hold on, he just stole my thunder. That's kind of how I felt about it. But it wasn't just, before I get to Trump's comments, Laura Trump comes out in this interview and she drops another breadcrumb. And it's that her father-in-law has a pre-written speech for this very moment. Aha. And again, out of the entire interview, this one little breadcrumb was what everyone was meant to consume. And they did.
You think that he's about to make an announcement about UFOs? Because President Obama was just on a podcast talking about how he believes in UFOs and hinting that he saw something when he was president.
Well, I said this in my podcast too. What's funny is we've kind of asked my father-in-law about this because we're like, well, what do you know? Because Miranda, we all want to know about the UFOs, right? We all want to know what's going on. And he played a little coy with us. And so that, of course, led us to believe, Eric and I were like, oh my gosh, if he won't even like fully tell us, maybe there's more to it. And then I have just heard kind of around that, I think he's actually said it, I think my father-in-law's actually said it, that there is some speech that he has that I guess at the right time, and I don't know when the right time is, he's going to break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life, so to speak.
Hello? Did you hear that? Like, wow. Okay. This is where we're at. We're all the way to the point to where, like, she just said, like he's got the speech. Like, we're there. Like, Obama did his thing. She said he has the speech. Then he makes the announcement. They're dropping all the files on UFOs and all this. Okay. That could be a lengthy thing. I'll admit they could drag that out, dropping little things to chew on for some days, a buildup. But what is it going to ultimately happen? Is Trump's going to give the speech? Isn't it crazy that we're at this point? And we see it crystal clear. The rest of the people will not. They'll believe whatever the panic in the TV or whatever says when this goes down. And thank you, Lowrider, my brother, for gifting memberships. Everyone that got them, welcome to the underground. Thank you so much. Let me play this clip here, last one of Trump, and I'll give my final thoughts on this whole thing.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president.
Do you believe it, Peter? Look at his face after he said that. Dude, what the? Look. He said, no, I don't talk about it. I don't want to talk. He couldn't say nothing. He just got done saying Obama gave away classified information. Okay, so you think he's going to turn around and do the same thing? He's like, I don't have a comment. I never say anything about it. But he's in trouble. He just made a big mistake. Is what he said.
The president can declassify anything that he wants to. So if you want to make an announcement,
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying it. I watch and listen to every single thing. It's there. All that we have left in front of us is a series of them dropping some things, and they're probably going to be pretty big. Okay, and it's going to have to be through the media and through the evening news into the living rooms of the masses, because apparently they weren't watching C-SPAN, they weren't paying attention to the Congress this whole past year. They missed a documentary and they missed all that. So maybe they're about to just ram it down our throat, because you got Steven Spielberg's disclosure thing about to drop too, which will be a full-blown movie, and then you pound it away. What I don't like the Spielberg aspect. Maybe because it's creepy. If it's the real deal, then it is what it is. But I've noticed there's this clicking that happens with aliens in all of the previews, the trailers for the Spielberg. It's showing this. It's eerie, and I don't know if they're telling us something like this is how they communicate. I'm telling you, pay attention. There's something with it, because if it's not, like, shame on him for, like, they know better. Like, they know what they're doing fully here, is what I'm saying. And, like, he's putting out this movie that's going to paint a picture in the minds of the masses of these creatures. Maybe this is how they are communicating. We know it's telepathic majority anyway, but this whole clicking thing is, it's eerie. It's very eerie the way it's presented. And if it checks out to be the real way or something of how they operate, oh man. I can't say I wouldn't doubt it. It's creepy. And okay. Let me pull up the comments and let me give my final thoughts here on this, because wild times. Where we at? 10:40. All right, well, I'll drop these final thoughts and take us out of here. Get right with the Most High first and foremost. I ask the Most High in heaven to be with us, to be with everybody. You're going to need it. He actually said, call upon him for these things. You're going to need him to get through it, instead of just trusting that you're going to do it, that you got it all figured out. You put it in God's hands. He asked you to do this. So I do. But he also gave you power. Remember, I am a creation in the image of God. I am able to do anything I want. I am one that will be good, that will bring good things wherever I go. These are the mantras you need to start speaking. You need to start speaking power and overcoming everything that they've got around you. Start breaking the shackles, knocking down the evil spells. This is the beginning. This is how you do it. Seeing them and knowing that it's happening is step one. Getting over the hysteria, realizing that it's real, accepting it, and just being conscious of it, because then it stops working on you. You're aware of it now, but then you're also able to sharpen your own sword again with your skills, speaking things into existence, positive things. And what you're doing when you do this is you're collapsing that world down around you. Another thing that they don't want you to know or to realize, you have so much power. You can do so much here, and speaking it into existence. You watch. Some of you know this. Some of you may know this full well, but majority of the people don't. It's time everybody get on board with this. This is the true spiritual awakening. Everyone talks all this smack, but we're the ones that walk the walk, dude. We're the real deal. So you either be about it or not. You have tools. Again, from here, let me just give my final thoughts on where they take this. And then I'll shut it down. Well, how do they put them on display is the big question, right? I always got to put myself into the shoes of the bad guys for the moment to think this one out, because you have to. You say, okay, what do we do to fool the masses? What would be the most advantageous? I mean, and I also obviously look at scripture. I look at what is written, and that plays big and key to everything. They do one of two things. They say, these creatures, these entities are here and going to blow us up. They're bad, and all these crazy, crazy things. The world's got to come together, and we've got to come together. Drop all of our differences as humans. You know, it's in this kind of false peace type to battle. Now, hold that thought for a second. I don't see them presenting these guys as the baddies. That's the problem. They want to present these guys as the goodies. It doesn't look good if you're coming in trying to be the goodies and you're threatening us. So this brings me to the second option, the more than likely option that I see being played out here. Is that they're going to say that they're peaceful in nature and that we are the problem. Our warring nature is the problem. And if we want to get along with the rest of the intergalactic society and everyone else, we have to be peaceful. And to be peaceful means to do, they're going to do what Trump's doing in Iran right now. They're going to roll up on the block bag. You need to drop your nukes. They're going to say you need to drop your guns. All your weapons. And it renders us defenseless. Okay? But then, you see, I mean, to stop and think about it, just right there. Why would they say that why would they label them the baddies here? They wouldn't. They would never. There's not one reason why they would ever do that or want to do that. Ever. they would not want us to see them as being bad. A threat potentially because of their higher intelligence, yeah. But I don't think it wouldn't work to the advantage that way. Not the way. Okay. So if I'm the bad guys, what's our ultimate goal? Huh? Well, we want to turn the whole world against God. He's coming. Okay. Well, now's the time. Now what we do, all right, now keep that thought, because that's all that matters right there. They want to turn the whole world against God. Don't lose sight of that. That's all that matters. Okay? Well, he's coming. They're coming. No one knows the day or the hour, but like they're coming and they know it. Call it Return of the Gods, call it whatever. They know this force is coming. They know it. They know a day of reckoning is coming. They know this. They know it. Just as this place faced judgment before and got flooded out, it's going to face it again, and they know it. And this time it's going to be by fire, because you couldn't kill these things last time. You flooded the planet out. They lived in the ocean. They were here the entire time. And as the Bible said, after the waters receded, they were here. It says it. They were here. They've been here the entire time. No one ever reads and does none of this. It's all right there. They're here. Okay? So, we're the baddies, right? We're thinking like the baddies. Then I want to present the Greys, these Dracos, whatever the baddies are, these bad entities are, these dark entities. We want to present them first as the good guys. And then we get everyone ready together to battle a threat that's coming. That threat will be to end human civilization. But it will be God. It will be the Most High. This is how I see this. It's everything that's gone down, what is prophesied and written, not just what I want or what I believe. I'm taking all the pieces of what's written, all the scientific everything, and what fundamentally makes sense to me. This is where it's got to go, right? You got to fool everybody. You're definitely not going to put on a big. They're not rolling out the red carpet for the Most High. We know this. It's prophesied. They're going to turn the whole world against it. Well, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. The only way you could do it. It's the only way you do it. It's one or the other, cut and dry. Deanne, thank you so much for that. Much love and prayers. Thank you so much for that. That's my opinion. Everything that I know. And that what they're going to call as a threat is Yeshua, the Most High, Jesus, the King of Kings. It's the good guys. No matter how you want to cut it, they're coming back to level it. And I believe in prophecy. I believe in all this stuff. I believe in the touchdown on the Mount of Olives. I believe that the greatest earthquake this earth has ever seen will happen on that day. I believe it's coming. I believe they know it. And that's where we at, man. Big show. Big show going in. Why? Why all this? Why? The big question, yeah. Because this has always been a test. proving ground, a test on you in the physical realm to see if you can master all these things around you. But no one ever told you that and taught you that. Instead, most people get mastered by everything else. It's pathetic. They have no self-control over any and all these things. Self-mastery. That's what this whole thing was about. Elevating, testing you to see if you were prepared to overcome all these evils and to see if you were worthy, your soul, your energy, to go to another realm and live with people that earned it for 1,000 years. Because this isn't the end. Energy's eternal. You are eternal. All of us are. Soul energy, connected to the light source by the silver cord. What do you know about any of that? Again, like so many people, we're running out of time. If I had it my way, I'd gather people every weekend like you do in a church, and I'd teach this knowledge and I'd give it. But like, I don't have the means. And like, I guess you are the ones that get it. You get this knowledge. It'll only be some of you that get it. Crazy. Live it to the fullest. Be righteous. Someone is watching your every move. What you do determines what happens on the scales. Gotta see it as like a fighter all the time. It's getting ready for a fight. What you do really does determine what you do on the scales right now. That's what it's all about. You're determining that, which way they go. That's the key too to this life that they never tell you. If they had a third one, they would tell you, as Aleister Crowley does, do as thou will. Do all this evil. Do anything and everything you want. But that's not what you want. You want to be disciplined. And you want to show it, prove it. You see? It's time to live it. Time is about up. Yeah, well, hope you're ready. Ready for the big show. I thank you guys for joining me for another one here. Brother, everyone's going to have to go underground if they want to live in the future from here on out. Past 2030, yeah, for sure. Everything will be hunted by drone. Any pure blood or anybody in existence after the next one. You understand right now it's like people claim pure blood righteously. But when the real deal goes down, there won't be no. You'll be fighting for your life. You won't let no one know you're pure blood anything. Because this moment that they know you're pure blood, they'll hunt you. So there won't be none of that chatter. You want to be real? You want to be real? You want to be real? When they're hunting people that don't have the jab at gunpoint, you ain't saying nothing if you're smart. You won't be out there to be found because once they find you, it's over. That's what's going to happen. And you got a choice. When they hunt you down, these same teams, that's why they're out there. Bow to the beast. Take the mark. Take the inoculation. Or go into a camp. Potentially shot dead. Just depends on the troops I guess you get dealt. You run into in this next run. It's coming. Everything I'm telling you is going to happen. I don't want it to. I'd like the people to rise and stop it, but they will do nothing. They'll sit there and they'll get put through this test. So, get ready. Time is short. Thank you for everything. And if I don't see you in the flesh, see you on the other side, I probably will be in the rock where Abel's at, with complaints in line, just to say the same thing. This place is so evil. And I don't want to cycle back in. Abel never did. He's still sitting there complaining. Wanting justice. And that justice is coming. Much love, God bless y'all. Man, Brother Toad's in the house. Been wondering about you, man. Hoping all is good. Good to see you. Much love. Jake from the Bill. Hoodie Ross. Deanne, thank you so much for everything. Angel. All you guys, I appreciate it. Lowrider. Spiro, you already know. Ava, y'all stay safe out there. Big thank you to the legendary Eon. Man, I swear, nobody like you. Thank you. Much love. God bless, brother. Can't thank you enough. Low Rider. Thank you so much. You and Deanne, thank you so much.
I believe that people stand before God in the flesh to face
Thank you,
to
William
be
Price.
without God throughout eternity.
Everybody.
That's the greatest hell. There's no more painful existence than that. God's fire will destroy you and torment you, or God's fire will ravish you.
You're not ready for the war. Man, I wanna run up on a bloodstained floor. Been in any battle together, now let us do it once more. Unite the tribes together like a Mongolian horde. Live fast, die young, cause my home is with the Lord, not on earthly shores. Been in heavenly wars, been deceived, no war between the devils and God, yo. We'll take the levels to the heavenly walls. I'm a rebel with cause, I don't settle for laws, yo. Goes higher than you know, you don't know who's involved. See the fire down below and it is you who calls. Sound of silence when the darkness falls. I rebel from the start of your heartless laws. You're not ready for the mad pack hordes, the snapback jaws and the bloodstained swords.
You're not ready for the warlord, devilish plans and the sordid scams by the corporate hand. On a revolution that will scorch your land under God's command, but watch it all go bang. You're not ready to pay repentance or the consequence of your independence. You're not ready for the wrath, the aftermath, the bloodbath and the lifetime sentence. You're not ready for the fires in hell. Lord have mercy for the souls that fell. The prophecy told only time will tell if you're going to heaven or where the reaper dwells. You're not ready for the Lucifer crowning. Build an ark if you're scared of drowning. Kids ain't safe, you will break them down. When it comes with a cloud and a trumpet sound.
You're not ready for this cause I can read your faces. You're not ready for the fall-on changes. You're not ready for the one world order. You're not ready for the public disorder. You're not ready for the riots. So if you're not to give you freedom up and stay quiet, cause I'm inspired by the storm approaching. You're not ready for the seals to be broken. You're not ready for the rage of God when he's spoken. But when he comes in your eyes will be opened. But it's too late, it's overdue mate. You're not ready for what's sold to you mate. So keep your eyes to the sky and when the sun dies, know that your time is through mate. So don't screw face, it's on you mate. It's on you.
You're not ready for the return of the king. Not ready for the fire that he bring. Not ready for the sword that he swing. When he returns, you know the angel gon' sing. Not ready for the rise of the beast. When the Lord come from the east. Judgment of the living and deceased. Only when the wicked die will we find peace. You ain't ready for the tribulation. Bloodshedding all across the nations. They control through manipulation, but they ain't ready for assassination. End time of the world upon us. It was even predicted by Nostradamus. They're releasing a demon to kind of harm us. In the end we gon' make it the same stardust.
Ready for the third world war on the earth, or even the bombs that'll blitz the world. You're not ready for the church's curse. The rewritten works in the books will burn. You're not aware of their evil witchcraft. The vultures lurk when their armies dispatch. No time to sit back and chit chat. You're not ready cause you're just a shitbag. Are you ready to be ruled by God? The back and backs are all ruled by Roth child and a political mob that control the planet like a voodoo doll. Are you ready for the mark of the beast? It's tainted like the heart of a priest. Rip out your chest, watch his heart to beat, and offer it to God, he hope he pardons me. You're not ready for the gnosis, that's my prognosis. Sheep sleep in a state of hypnosis. The world's funny, ain't taking notice. It's too late, you're now red like Orvis. You're not ready for the rapture or to be captured. Or when Satan declares himself as the master, and then Babylon falls with the call of a natural disaster. You're not ready for the master of a maker. You're not ready when he comes to commit you. Shine so bright the heat will bake you. I am top line like a freak of nature. You're not ready for the presence of God. The yellow brick road only leads to us. You're not ready for the panic in the street. The money that will speak will haunt you in your sleep.
The hell to face God without God. Really, all matter is only a manifestation of God's Spirit. Everything's held together and consists by the Word of God. And when God takes His Word out, the whole place would atomize. Everything comes from God.